Hey everyone, welcome to the weekday We the People of Washington live stream. I am one of your hosts, Michael Pickens, and our chair and co-host, Tony Kelly. How are you today?
I am doing great. How are you?
Doing fantastic. I just want to touch on the interview we did yesterday before we start talking about the budget. If
Yeah.
you haven't, for those watching, if you haven't seen the interview with Christopher Armitage that we did yesterday, go and find it. It was awesome. A lot of great content about ICE and soft secession and federal overreach and oppositional federalism and all kinds of cool stuff. He would just like spit out information just nonstop. That guy was fast. So
Yeah. That was probably the most fun that I've had doing this so far. I loved that so much.
yeah, and then Friday you've scheduled a great one too, right? You want to talk about
Yes,
that?
I'm so excited for this. Keith Swank, sheriff for Pierce County, which is where I live, is in Pierce County, and he is going to be on Friday. So I don't feel like 30 minutes is going to be enough, but hopefully he'll come back or I'll be able to go sit down with him or something. I'm ecstatic that he responded and is coming on. So
Yeah, that's going to be a cool one. I do like how it's 30 minutes and it's just
yeah,
done. Like people know that they can tune in if they got 30 minutes and they know it's going to be over. They don't have to sit there for hours and hours. Like it's not
right,
the Joe Rogan podcast for 4 hours that you got to listen
right.
to get the
Yeah, no,
info.
I agree completely with you. It's just there's so many things I want to know. I'm never satisfied. I want to know everything. So that's my only bummer about the whole thing is that I know I'm going to want more time. So
Yeah,
we'll see where that takes us. That is going to be a really good one. He's very, very outspoken and he does not mince words, and he does not care who likes what he has to say.
sure.
And
Well, he's just being
that is
honest.
probably my favorite part about him.
Yep. Well, it's crazy what they're doing to the sheriffs because they're trying to get yes people in those positions from the state government, which is going to be bad for all of us.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see where he actually thinks that this is going. If they're, and what's really disheartening is that when I went up there and I spoke to all of my legislators, that they don't, there's nothing that they can do.
Yeah.
There's
Well, they're in
nothing
the
that they can do to
minority.
stop any of it, and
Yeah.
they know that.
Yeah. Democrats have the super majority. That's where we the people comes in though, because we can actually challenge all of the state reps that are running unopposed. And it's so in the Democrat districts where there's no Republican on the ballot, like we have an opportunity to challenge the Democrats. And I think we have a better opportunity of actually getting elected and beating them because of our platform, direct democracy, being able to vote on all the
Yeah.
issues for your representative. Like people will have a say in what's happening politically instead of this, oligarchy with extra steps that we live under.
Yeah. It's I think that we have a lot of good things going for us that people will like once they really get to understand what we're about. And I think talking to the sheriffs and talking to Chris yesterday, and I think it really gives people a good idea. We're not against ICE. We're not against, the people out there protesting ICE. We want, common sense and to uphold the Constitution. And, we're not seeing much of that right now. Definitely the common sense part has left all manner of things. So, why don't we, I thought today that we would start taking a look at some of the budget. I started going through using AI, and so I just thought that we could. Oh, that just makes okay. I thought that we could go through it. So what I do when I'm asking AI something in depth is I've learned to ask it to tell me what to ask it. Like, here's the general idea of what I want to get out of this. Now, how do I ask you so that you can actually give me the answers I want. And so, it gave me this big, this big thing of what to ask for. So what I was specifically asking for was like, what are the new taxes right now? And what's that?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
So what are the new taxes? And I was just focusing on the transportation budget because I find that one interesting. And and the reason why I'm trying to explain not just what I'm doing, I want people to understand how I'm doing it, because AI isn't 100%, right? So anything that we do find that is, of interest, like we really do want to go in and double check it. But so that people understand how easy this is, it just takes time. And we really would love people to help us go through this, because I've worked on this, but I don't have time to sit and go through all of it when it spits it all out at me. So what I found really interesting when I started going through, and so what it's giving me now is the budget enacted a major transportation venue package in 2025. The gas tax increased. Oh, so I actually found that interesting. Like I didn't get past this second sentence at first, because our gas tax hasn't gone up in 10 years, but our gas cost, I know, right? But our gas cost keeps going up. So when I'm going through this, I stop and I ask the question that I want to know. And so I stopped here and it gave me all of this information. So I haven't even gone through all of it yet. But I stopped here and I said, I don't want to go back and do all the work, but I'm curious if the money going, oh, never mind. Hold on. That was a different question. I asked it about that specific thing. We have the highest gas tax in the country, and I know it goes up every year. So how is this true then, right? That it hasn't gone up in 10 years. And so then it breaks it down for me. So the gas tax itself has not gone up, but they've added all kinds of extra fun stuff. So one of the things that I found really interesting is this, the Climate Commitment Act. This is really screwing up so many things. It's not called a tax, right?
But functions like one.
And, the frustrating thing is that what the Democrats tend to do is they say that they're going to charge the corporations, and the corporations are going to pay this fee, and we're going to nail them with all this stuff. Well, who doesn't get that that's coming back on us? Like, I'm not sure where we lose that disconnect. It's very annoying. And so this adds carbon tax to everything. So it adds roughly 30 to 50 cents different times, because what they're doing is they're going in and they're actually auctioning off the carbon credits.
What a scam.
Yes. And so it just depends on what they're doing. So what I did then was, I think I asked, what does this mean? Roughly 30 to 50% per gallon is at different times. Like what? So I wanted clarity on that. Now, mind you, I haven't gotten past the second sentence at this point. This is why this takes so long to really get to understand, because I'm just drilling down on this one portion.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't mean that it's a single. So what they do is, I don't know if people understand what a carbon tax is. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because this is how I understand it. You've got Joe Blow over here and Timmy over here, and I need more carbon. I'm going to emit more carbon than you are. So I'll buy some of your carbon tax so that I can do what I want, because you're not going to use as much. And so I'll pay more than you, right? But what is that solving? It doesn't solve anything. I don't know what this tax, I don't know what this extra fee is supposed to solve.
Climate? I don't know.
Yeah, that's the purpose of it, but I've never understood how. So There's my next, like, I don't like, you're gonna pay less, or like you're gonna want to pollute less because you're paying for it. They just pass that on to us. They don't they don't care.
And people wonder why the prices in Washington State on groceries and everything else is so much higher than everywhere else in the country, is because they've added 30 to 50% per gallon on top for the Climate Commitment Act. And then they added the cents, sorry. And then they've added new gas taxes on top of that. I'm sure there's other fees that we don't even see per gallon, because it says here that technically that's not a tax. They don't consider it a tax, even though it acts like a tax.
Yes. And so it varies. That's why our gas prices fluctuate the way that they do, because, one time they might pay 50 cents, another time they might pay 25 cents. And so the gas prices fluctuate. But another thing that was pretty interesting is who is paying for this, right? So let me find, who are these being auctioned off to is my next question. And so it's the oil refiners, the fuel wholesalers, large fuel importers. So every single person that drives into this state that has anything to do with fuel, they're being charged that. The utility companies, that's why our electric bills keep going up, right? They're promoting all of this green this and green that, and, sign up for your smart meter so that it can do its thing and control all your appliances and all of that good stuff. And this is all going to help lower your bill, but our bills don't ever go down. Nobody's electric bill is ever going down for all of this good shit that they're doing.
No, they just keep raising it. They keep raising rates across the board. We're dealing with that here in our county, and I'm sure everywhere else across the state. So,
yeah. And what's crazy is mine isn't even like, mine's on the mine's hydro. Like almost all of my power comes from hydro. So I don't even it's even extra ridiculous that mine keeps going up, because it doesn't even use, fossil fuels.
Yeah.
Which don't even get me started on that one, fossil fuels.
Washington State does not consider hydroelectric renewable energy. Just so you know.
Okay.
They don't consider it renewable energy, which is crazy to me.
That one made my eye twitch.
There's not a lot of common sense in our state.
That legit, I got a little twitch in there. Okay. Large industrial emitters, facilities above certain emission thresholds. So like all of these companies are paying too. So that's another reason why, manufacturing in this state is very high, and I can't even imagine the other ridiculous fees that they end up having to pay, right? But that's just one more fee that they're having to pay. No wonder we lose them. Who doesn't buy, right? We don't individually do it, or small businesses or whatever. How the auction actually works. So the Department of Ecology runs a quarterly auction, limits the number of allowances. They bid against each other. And I'm so curious how this works. Wouldn't you just love to be a fly on the wall? Like, I wonder if this is stuff that we can watch. It would be so interesting to go and see how this works, or where this is done.
Why this feels like a tax, even though it's a small one, because it's mandatory, it's government created, it raises consumer prices, it generates billions in state-controlled revenue. The only real difference is a tax has a fixed rate set by lawmakers, a cap and trade cost has a variable rate set by auctions. Functionally, consumers pay either way.
Right.
We pay.
Yeah. So I got a little bit more into it. So now we're going to just travel back up here to where I got to again. And I started noticing that everything on here has darn near everything has a 2% additional tax on it. I'm sorry, up to, hold on, I'm trying to figure out why I'm not, up to 2% increase every year from 2026 on. So every year there's going to be an increase in the gas tax. Now we'll never go again another 10 years. There will be a cost of, not a cost of, what is that? My brain isn't functioning. I can't think of the word. Inflation.
Well, yeah,
based on inflation. So based on inflation, it will go up to 2% annually at every one of these things. So driver's license fees will increase up to 2% annually. Your tabs are gonna, maybe that's not one. I don't know how, do you know how, like there's a whole bunch of stuff over on the side over here, but I can do it on my phone or my iPad, but I don't know how to do it on the computer.
I'm not sure.
I don't see it. Okay. Anyway, there was a ton of them that showed all of these. So these are all tax increases. So what I asked for is this is new and expanded transportation revenue sources. So motor fuel tax, gasoline and diesel. So that's our gas increase. And that's going to go up 2%, up to 2% a year, every year from now on. The motor vehicle sales tax, that's going to increase from 0.3 to 0.5 effective just January here. And this is on top of standard sales tax, right? Rental car tax is going up. But look at that. Look at how much that's going up. Jumps from 5.9 to 11.9.
That's almost double. That is double.
And then is set at 9.9 for 2027 onward.
Jeez.
Peer-to-peer car sharing. I had to look that up. I didn't even know what that was. An additional 11.9% tax in 2026. And then I guess I don't understand that. Like, that's another question I want to, like, why is it up so high and then goes down? Like, to make up for what they didn't get before? I don't know. Passenger vehicle weight fees.
Weight fees?
Increased annual license. Oh, this is tabs. So yeah, so your tabs are based on the weight of your car, right? So 6,000 pound fee will rise. And then it goes up again. $20, all passenger weight fees with similar hikes, roughly $20 each, phase in to raise additional road funds. Yeah, so this is on our tabs. So I think I saw a couple on here on tabs. They're really hitting hybrids hard too. You know, all of these people out there buying those fun electric cars, and they're raising all their fees.
Wow, from $100 to $150 a year. And then the hybrid goes from $75 to $100 a year. That's crazy. Driver's license fee, to get a driver's license, you're going to pay $80.
And that's just for the standard.
Yeah. Vehicle title service
look at,
fee.
Again, it increases up to 2%
annually. Wow.
So that's another one that's going to continue to go up. This one is going to indexed at plus 2% a year onward. This again, 2% a year onward. Right. So they're looping into all of this as well, that the taxes will increase every year from now on.
Wow. Can we use ChatGPT to make a graph about this?
Yeah.
Like all the increases across the board, and then we can brand it We the People, post it.
Yeah.
That'll get a ton of shares.
Yeah, I'll work on that later. The other thing I do is when I do this, I do it in deep research, right? So you come down here on chat and you can do deep research, and then it'll just look a little further into it. So that's also how I got it so
luxury
detailed.
Vehicle tax. So 10% tax on luxury vehicles. Wow.
On the portion that's over 100,000.
Wow. Okay.
But that's a
Luxury
lot.
motorhome RV tax.
Yeah.
Oh, 10% on the portion above 500,000.
Yeah. But that's a lot of money. I mean, that's another $5,000 if you're at a $150,000 car.
Yeah, a luxury yacht. Like I'm gonna have to pay more money for my yacht.
I know. I don't understand, honestly, how the Democrats are approving all of this. Aren't they mad?
New aircraft tax, electric bicycle surcharge, 10% fee. Wow.
That one makes me mad. I love my electric bike.
Tire recycling
10%.
fee. Yeah, 10%. Wow.
And this one kind of baffled me too. This tire recycling fee from $1 to $5 per tire.
Wow. But they don't recycle the tires. We just have to pay extra to the recycling company or the junkyard or the dump, an extra $5.
Well, yeah, but usually what happens is you go get your tires done, right? And then they take your old ones. So now the price of your tires just went up.
Yeah. Large event transportation. Oh, so if you own a company and you have a bus, you're going to actually have to pay an extra dollar per attendee on events.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That shows sports games, concerts, conventions. Holy cow.
I guess I forget that that's in the transportation. Like, how is that in the transportation budget?
I don't know. Work zone speed camera fines. So they catch you. It was $0. Now it's 125. Traffic infraction surcharge, an additional $10 fee for traffic infraction. Oh, 3% surcharge on ferries for using a credit card.
Oh my God. I missed that one.
Toll exemption removal. Eliminates toll exemptions. So that means no one is exempt from the tolls. I don't know who was exempt to begin with, but that's crazy.
Weren't like buses.
Oh, the ride shares.
Yeah.
Ride shares were exempt.
Free.
Now they're not.
Republic. Oh, so that means, does that mean, I guess I wonder if this means like no longer, like if you have two people in the vehicle.
Crazy.
General tax transfer. Yeah. So that's just one part of it that I've been looking at. And then, so, here, let's see if this actually talks about, future budget relief. Let's see. Finally, to bolster transportation funding long-term, lawmakers decided to shift 0.1% of the existing sales tax revenue to transportation starting in mid-2027. This doesn't raise taxes for shoppers, of course not, but it does carve out about $295 million per biennium that's used to general government, redirecting it to transportation.
Wow.
I really don't I just don't think that what we're doing for transportation is useful. We pay a huge tax here in Pierce County, even though I'm so far out from any of this crap being built, we'll never use it. There's no reason, but the way that RTO, and I need to write that down because I don't remember exactly what that means. But RTO are the people who decide, God dang it. What is that? Hold on. RTO regarding transportation in Washington State. That's not it. Washington Transportation Plan. I don't know. Anyway, there's a company or something like that where the initial, like whatever the group is RTO. And they're the ones that decide who's going to pay the taxes for this, the railway that they've built. and all of the trains and stuff. And there's 3 counties. It's Pierce County, King County, and I think Snohomish County that all fall along I-5. And so they're the ones that are all paying it. But I'm nowhere near I-5. But they've decided that out here, I need to pay it. Is absolute crap. So I'm curious how to get on that board.
Yeah. Well, they'll get you off of it as soon as you're on it. So
yeah. Anyway, these are the kind of things that we want to go through and really break it down and see where things need to be fixed and where they're broken. You know, my legislator on that's on the transportation board, Barkus, Andrew Barkus, he has that great idea about repurposing the money, saving on the fuel and upgrading our fuel systems on the ferries and using that money and flipping that over to improve the ferries. I mean, like, that is common sense. And we need to be looking at these budgets to find more places like that. So the more eyes that we actually have on this stuff, the more ideas we can come up with to solve some of these problems. Because this is ridiculous. And these are just going to continue to increase every year. Plus, they're just going to add more.
Yeah. Yeah. The ones that are increasing 2% every year, the ones that aren't, they're going to vote to increase them next year or the year after that. They're just going to keep raising the fees. Like, people can't afford this stuff.
Yeah. And it just doesn't, it doesn't make sense to me. I don't know how anybody looks at all this and goes, oh yeah, no problem. But they just keep squeezing us and squeezing us and squeezing us. I was just looking through. Yes, some revenues automatically grow. What we cannot do, cannot guarantee actual. All right, so I was just seeing what other questions I asked. Oh, okay. So that was. I just keep going because it's already figured stuff out. Oh yeah, I had to ask what peer-to-peer car sharing was, you know, and it's private individuals who rent their own personal cars. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, Turo. I believe it's one of the apps that does that, Turo.
Yeah. So they've, you know, right, they're not leaving any stone unturned.
No, they're taxing everything.
Yeah.
Fucking taxing everything.
It's crazy. I mean, like, when you look through and you see like just all the little nitpicky stuff, it's like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. See if it can create a custom graphic listing out all of the new taxes with the amounts of increases.
Yeah, so I will do that. This was what I started on the operating budget.
Oh God. So that was just transportation.
That was just transportation. Yeah. So this was me asking AI how to ask it. Gotcha. Yeah. So then this is the operating budget. So I haven't even gotten to this one to really sit and look through it.
Well, hang on, Tony. I'm going to go puke real quick.
Yeah, it's crazy. We'll have to get into that one next time. But it's just, you know, what is this? The legislature adopted numerous new taxes, tax rate increases, base expansions, and other revenue measures to support roughly $78 billion in spending. I think when I was there at the Capitol, Andrew Barkus's guy, I can't think of his name. His name is Matt, but I can't think of his whole name. He said, and I did not realize this, but either last year or the year before, we had $12 billion extra. And going into this year, we had what, $14 billion deficit.
Oh, yeah, it's
like,
crazy.
My numbers are probably off a bit, but I don't know, like, so essentially we've lost somewhere around close to between 20 and 30 billion dollars. Like, we're that far. I mean, because that's what it's saying, right? We used up all of our excess and now we're down here.
Yeah.
So,
well, hey, we're over the 30 minutes, but that was a very in-depth look at all of the tax increase coming just for transportation. So thank
Yeah.
you for putting that together.
Yeah, I'll get a chart made up for that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Tony. For those watching, if you love what we're doing or like what we're doing or lukewarm kind of like what we're doing, please consider donating at WTPWA.com. We're also looking for candidates to run for office. If you're interested, please go there and fill out the form. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on this super interesting topic today.
Yeah. Yes. Hi. I hope everybody has a good night after that.
Yeah. I'm going to go puke. We'll see you later.
All right. Have a good night.
Yep, you too.